What do we have here? Well, it looks like a Squire precision bass. 5-string. So let's see if we can cook up some delicious bass. I know for sure it needs a truss rod adjustment. We'll probably slap some new strings on her and check the string height and all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping I can adjust this well enough to where I can make it my studio bass. But we'll see what kind of damage we can do. Stay tuned. Okay, first order of business. We're going to take these strings off. Flat, flat, flat. This is, I don't know. It's nice to see how secure that was on there. Guess whoever owned this before didn't have a pair of wire cutters. But I hope you guys are doing great out there. Hope you're having a rip-roaring good time on your musical journeys. It's good to see that after all the quote-unquote pandemic, things are getting back to normal. People are actually doing shows again. Ugh. Wasn't that fun? I will probably clean the fretboard too after looking at it. It looks like it's kind of gunky. The frets look like they're in pretty decent shape. I've never seen anybody break a bass string, or I couldn't imagine getting slapped by one of these. So if you guys had any experience with that, let me know in the comments. I'm dying to know. So if you're watching this and like this kind of stuff, you know, I don't claim to be a grade A luthier for anything like that. I'm just a hobbyist, so if you guys have any tips or tricks, I'd love to hear what you have to say. We can learn off each other. I'm primarily not a bass player. It's like I do it when I record just to have bass tracks on my projects and stuff. One tip that I will give you right quick. I was working on an Ibanez before I started doing this, and took the strings off, and I used to use pop bottles, or like these kind. And this is not sponsored. I know how YouTube gets all tied up in their analities and their feelings and stuff. It's not a sponsored video, but I used to put the old strings in a pop bottle like that so I could throw them all away. Because you know, if you live with somebody or have a significant other, and one thing they always hate is to have a string to the foot as they walk. But what I started using was an old Pringles can, and it's perfect just to drop down in there, and once they get full, you can just throw the can and all the strings away, and your significant other will be happy, and you'll be happy, and that's what it's all about. There's your free tip of the day. Don't think I'll actually do that with the bass strings just yet. Or who knows, I might go ahead and throw them away. Life's too short, right? Life's too short to be hanging on the bass strings. What I like to do is share little tips and stuff that I learn along the way. If I find a healthy, or not healthy, but a good product that helps me along the way, I like to share because, you know, I know like in our field, like Stu Mac is reverenced a lot for stuff to help you set stuff up and stuff, but my goodness, they're pretty pricey, and I'm sure they're worth every penny, but if you're on a budget, it's like you need whatever you need to get by, and sometimes having a cheap tool is better than having no tool at all. All right. Now we got the strings off. Now what I'm going to do is slick up his fretboard. One of these days I'm going to get greasing up his chair. But yeah, this here's nothing special really. It's just a boiled linseed oil. And I just put it in, this is like a toothpaste container that once it got empty, I just put the linseed oil in it just to make it easier to distribute on the fretboards. And a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. So you don't have to go overboard with it. And all you do is like put it on and then just take it off. I recommend doing this maybe about once a year, maybe twice if you live like in a real dry climate. What this does is keeps your fretboard hydrated. I always like to say a word from my non-sponsor. Okay, like I said, this is not sponsored by any way, but the string of choice, I don't really know anything about them, but got them off the Amazons, and we'll see what they do. But they're the Power Slinky. I guess it means they're not weak. They will stand by you in trying times of your bass playing because they got the power. Yeah, let's tear these jewels open. $135. I'm guessing that's the top B. Well, it feels like a bass string. Let's get her suited up here. She's tight. That's what I call a tight fit. Let's see what the problem is. There we go. Well, I definitely didn't expect that kind of struggle. one thing that I've learned that we'll try today that I didn't know about these vintage tuners, they say, especially on guitar. What I've seen other guys do is they'll measure like 2 pegs up, and then they'll cut right there, and then set that right there for the, and then what you do, see these holes in here, then you stick the string in that hole, and then you start to wind. And because you measured 2 pegs up, that gives it that perfect diameter. Not diameter, but it gives it the perfect length for wraps whenever you go around. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the B. So we'll stick that in so it doesn't wind up in somebody's foot down the road. And the same, you just repeat. Like the same here, we measure 2 up, cut her about right there. Make sure you discard these strings. Save yourself a cussing. Put that down. And hold her down. And then wrap like you're from Compton. What I like to do, or what I just learned to do, was kind of bend your string. That way when it comes through, it'll automatically go over that saddle. Now this one where you don't have that, well, This one might not even need. Just shove her in there. It looks like it was going to be about the same. After me giving it the mix-o eagle eye. You know how it is. Measure once, cut twice. A little bend there. You can do it, Nick. It looks like the same here, like no need to cut. Find the hole, find the hole. Don't you want to go to the hole? The hole is your home. Are you too good for your home? As you can tell, like doing the measuring two tuners up, in my view anyway, it looks a whole lot better than whoever strung it before and had it looking like it needed a wild haircut. Now for the next one, I'm actually going to turn it around. So by trick photography, still see that, yeah. This might give you a, if we can move it up right here. This might give you a visual of what I was doing. The bottom. But I was bending these up a little bit, because like when you get to the down here, it's kind of hard to get it over that string. Like here, we can do the, we'll call it the circumcise method. Starts a turning. Now, let's actually turn this back around. Now we got them all on. Loosen these up to put that string tree back on. A lot of people ask what kind of screwdriver this is. It's a guitar company called Music Nomads. And like I say, I'm not sponsored. But they do have some good stuff. I would, me personally, I would prefer them over the StewMax. Just because they're a whole lot more reasonable on price, for sure. So, let's tune it up and see. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. I actually need to check and see what the string height recommendation for these are, because I have no idea, but I'll be back. Hey everybody, came back after having a little snack and a little bit of Doritos and watch a little Judge Judy. I came back and I finished the setup and I forgot to hit record on the recording machine. But yeah, just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in and hanging out with me. If you can, like, share, and subscribe. And let me know how your journey's going. I like to see what you guys are working on too. Us musicians, we have to stick together. But until next time, God bless.